effect, but I don't get anywhere near as much as going from 0 to 1. And so if I hit people multiple times and that means it burns money so that I have to go out of the market later on, that's terrible. I want reach of maximum number of people, and I also want coverage in time. Those are the two elements of reach. So beware of media deals that offer that. As a general thing, if your budget is massively slashed for a year or so during a recession, I'd probably advise just take your digital budget and just put it to 0. Sorry for the digital people here. But let's be honest, right? We're dealing with very fragmented, low-reach media. Now, marketers should be in it because they need to learn about it. But if their budgets are slashed terribly for a year, well, you know, sales are what matters, so let's leave our education for a gap for a year. So be really careful not to ignore your light buyers. They are your future. They are also a huge chunk of your sales. Right? The contrary to what you might have learned at university, if you did an MBA, that bottom 80% of your customers do not generate only 20% of your sales. In fact, next year they'll generate 60% of your sales. And this year they generated about 40% of your sales. Next year they will generate more. And your top 20% generated about 60% of your sales this year and will generate about 40% of your sales next year. Yes, your heavies will get lighter and your lights will get heavier. This is what always happens. I'm not going to go into the reason, but the message is very clear, right? We really do need our light customers. We do need to reach them cheaply. New products. Let me just quickly wrap up. Can we launch products in times when consumers are conservative and hunkering down? Well, yeah, it looks like we can. Certainly the lower media costs help. Small luxuries do very well. Anyone selling chocolate or, I believe, lipstick. I've heard that lipstick has been selling astonishingly well. DVD rentals, you know, small luxuries do very well. And here's actually a chocolate example. In the 1970s, really bad time for UK, but Yorkie was launched. I think it was Roundtree brand at that time. It's now Nestle. They gained 20% share of a stagnant market. I mean, this is amazing because, you know, how many new chocolate bars launch? No, not how many new chocolate bars launch. How many new chocolate bars survive? Lots launch. How many actually get into the market? Not many. Well, this one did. Wow. How did it do it? Well, remember, this was the time of stagflation. Costs were really rising. Inflation was rampant. Chocolate was getting very expensive. And so a lot of marketers thinking, well, people are suffering. Our raw costs are going up. What we should do is make the bar smaller. That would be good. Make it thinner. And it changed the taste, doesn't it? If chocolate is in a thin, it changes the taste. Well, Yorkie it launched as a small bar, but with the traditional big chunks of chocolate. Consumers noticed. They're not dumb. So,
sorry, and at what price did they give it the same price?
Yeah, Yorkie's it's not a discount. It's a convenience store type product. So it's just, you know, whatever the, you know, how much does a chocolate bar cost? None of us know, right? We just buy them. Something, yeah. So, you know, it's quite an amazing, but basically that was just because an opportunity was given to them by their competitors. And so these things exist. The market's not stupid. The market is not non-reactive. New products can work during downtimes. It's okay to launch Rural Bank now. It's okay. So, in summary, the consumer behaviour really does support a business as usual approach, actually, and just get better at marketing. And particularly exploit this opportunity. This is advertising spend against GDP. You can see the pattern there. Marketers massively overreact. GDP drops a little bit, marketers slash their spending. Right? GDP rises a little bit, marketers go crazy. So you all bid against each other, right, to buy media space and push the prices up when things are good. And then when things are bad, you all withdraw and the media prices collapse down, but you don't buy. That's really dumb. Or rather, it's a great opportunity. So use the opportunity. So just be realistic. You know, lower your growth targets because the category and the market's not going to grow as much as previous. That's what low growth means. But it's not, I mean, it's not terrible, right? Even if you're in a shocking market like, you know, the US, where you get something like 4% contraction, it still means the economy is 96% the size as it was the previous year. And remember that previous year, it was bigger than the year before that. So it's not that huge. Think very much about keeping up. There's not a big reason to do price promotions. This is largely just giving away margin that you were going to get anyway. Ignore what consultants tell you about. This is the time to just focus on retention, not acquisition. This is the time to focus on your heaviest customers. The logic doesn't even work for that, let alone the empirical evidence. It's just a dumb idea. Which I've said. A really crucial thing I just want to end on is what the evidence I've shown you really suggests as far as consumer behaviour, market performance, and then what marketers do. It suggests there's a problem with our discipline, right? That's the big thing, right? We overreact to recessions. We pull off advertising even though we've got great media prices at that time. We do dumb things, and I think part of it is that we do a really poor job at educating and how it works. So we need to do a much better job of showing our non-marketing managers and our CEOs what the facts are, right? So that we don't get pushed into the silly behaviour. Because the more silly behaviour we do, it's like a downward spiral, right? The more silly behaviour marketers do, the less respect the marketing discipline gets. And it just goes down and down and down. So I'll leave you with that thought.
Thank you, Professor Sharp. Did anyone have any questions at this point, or do you want to? Yes.
On average, about 40% of people said yes. In other words, about 40% of people probably really saw the ad, and about 60% were watching another channel, left the room, hitting their sister, doing all the sorts of things that normal consumers do. Right? We then asked one more question, because for an ad to work, you have to notice it, and you have to notice what brand it's for, right? For the ad to work for you. So we asked them what brand was it for, and what proportion of the people who noticed the ad could name the brand correctly. About 40%, yeah. And 40% times 40% is 16%, or put another way, 84% of ad exposures went poof, right? Money down the drain. And this is not new. This has been going on for decades. It's not a TV issue. This is for have you ever seen someone reading a magazine and how much attention they are paying to those ads? Yeah. Flick, 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 flick. Seen people reading it. I love the full double page ads in newspapers. You see how people read those? They start to open, see it's an ad, and then move to the next page. This is normal consumer behaviour. But what it means is that there is tremendous room for improvement. Right? Some of those ads didn't get 40% recognition. They got like 90% recognition and like 90% correct branding. Those are dollars working just so much harder than some of the other ads. So there's plenty of potential for improving our ads. We need ads that are clearly branded. We need ads that people will actually watch again and again. In a recession, if your budget's cut, a great way is to reinvest in campaigns that work. Why do marketers never use old campaigns that they know tracked really well? And instead, they put money on the gambling table and give the ad agency a chance to come up with something new that probably has about 1 in 10 chance of being half as good as an ad they know worked. It's a rhetorical. I asked this question. Where was I? Kellogg's. I asked